Spinning in, dude.
All right, live from
the studio. I'm Jimmy Selesky.
I'm Eric Glazer, and we're live, baby.
We are live.
It is Tuesday night.
8 p.m.
8 p.m. I bet you probably just heard a firework go off. I did.
I bet, dude. I thought that was going to end up, but it's not.
That's how you know we're live.
Do you think... the only thing I'm thinking is that maybe they're prepping us for like the craziest 4th of July celebration ever of all time.
Yeah, where we get bombed by other countries.
Yeah.
Talk about can't control the virus.
Talk about a crazy fucking 4th of July special. That'd be wild. Because I feel like at this point we're anesthetized to fireworks at this point. It's like I see them every night. You're gonna have to do something better.
Yeah, I mean, like you're gonna have to make some homemade explosives if you want to impress me.
Yes. I really like Joey's video he made on that, by the way. ATB Productions.
Yeah. The
video, that was good. He's a big TikToker, it looks like. He's really finding his niche in there.
Yeah, he's getting in there. I liked the Floor is Lava one he made with his daughter. It was very good. I've gotten into that show as well on Netflix.
Is that a show?
Yeah, it's called Floor is Lava. It's so fucking good.
Is it like a...
It's a game show where, I mean, you know, the premise is in the name. Essentially, like, they just have, like, obstacle courses, and the floor is lava. So, like, there's, like, a team of, like, 2 or 3 people, and then they just have to, like, cross the room, and whoever either gets the most points... Or if there's a points tie, then whoever gets through the course the fastest wins like $10,000.
So it's kind of like American Ninja Warrior, but for like regular people. You know, because American
Ninja. But dude, some of the shit is like hard. Like some of the shit looks hard. Like because they'll, you know, they have like they're like the obstacles are like set up like rooms in a house, but like. You know, it's a game show, so these rooms are crazy. So they have like a basement where they have like, you know, bugs on the wall and frames, and you have to like scale across them. And then there's like a pyramid that you can't really get a footing on, but like you either have to, you pretty much have to like sacrifice one person on the pyramid to get through the map.
How many people are on the team?
There's usually like 3, but we saw a couple episodes where it was only 2 people.
Dude, that's something I would be down to do. Like,
yeah. Dude, it looked so fun, and we were training for it this weekend.
Oh, sick, dude!
I went on a little getaway.
Yeah, you went to what? Upstate New York?
Yeah, upstate New York on the St. Lawrence River with Elizabeth's family. And
how was that?
It was fun. It was nice to get away from things. Had some family stuff this week. R.I.P. Cookie Grandma.
Rest in peace.
But yeah. But yeah, no, we on the river. They had like these tubes that they would like drive you around on a boat on the river, which was fun.
Nice.
But also they had like a raft set up. Like a little raft dock, and we were like jumping from the raft dock to the tube and like trying to like be like, all right, this is a 5-foot jump, all right, this is a 6-foot jump. It's like, all right, get everything wet like it's lava, and let's see if we can make it.
That's dope. That's probably my favorite game to play is try to jump through the tube. But that's something
we were trying to land on it.
Oh, okay.
Because at that, you know, the lake was or the river was lava.
The river was lava.
Yeah.
Okay. See, I'm a big jump through the tube guy, and I like to play that at pools.
That's fun in a pool, yeah.
But I don't know if I'm allowed to do that anymore. I don't know if that's a 27-year-old move.
I don't know if you can fit through it anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
That was like definitely like a kid-sized thing.
Yeah, I would have to rent a tube from the pool first of all, because I've had no pool toys since I was like 8. Which I would like at least a noodle, you know, at least a respectable noodle. But I don't even have that. Instead
of like a roller coaster, you have to be this tall. You have to be this small to jump through tubes.
A noodle, but like the one with like the hole in it. You know what I'm talking about?
Dude, how are you jumping through a noodle?
Dude, I'm really training, bro. You thought you were training? I'm training, dude. No, dude, I'm talking about I like fucking like blowing water out of it.
The noodle? No.
Yeah, dude. I think That's definitely a game I can't play at a pool.
You just bring in foot-long noodles. And like, are you using that as a flotation device? Like, no, I'll be over by the jet.
The jet noodle combo, dude, that's living, bro. If I ever get my own pool, you already know I'm gonna have a whole thing set over there.
You're gonna have the Lisa Ann pool noodle.
Just like a candy jar of Blue Chews sitting next to the thing. That would be cool, dude. Those are definite next steps. Now that we got the studio up and running, I think a candy jar would be nice to have. Ooh, just something cool. But that's a big next step.
Dude, the studio is going to be so cool when when we're allowed to open again. When these bullshit laws let us open the studio again.
Yeah, when they let the studio open full. Right now it's only 50% capacity for studios, so only I can be there, dude.
I know, it's bullshit.
It's bullshit, dude. Hogan's cracking down on live from the studio. It's always been the case. It's always been the case.
It's our biggest hater.
Yeah, but next week will be episode 200, though. I don't know if you've been keeping count, but I definitely wanted to do some type of bicentennial extravaganza for that episode.
Yeah. Jeez, yeah, we got to figure something out.
Yeah, if I can get the stuff figured out in time, because also I have a carpet guy moving into the space next door to the studio, and we now share the garage, and I had to clean out all my stuff. And Miss Moon's been calling me every day, like, you need to get this, you need to get that. And I'm like helping her take stuff to the dump and stuff. So I had to move like all this shit into my side. And I was like, damn, this sucks. I got way too much stuff.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a step back.
Mm-hmm. It was definitely a step back, but also I don't need like any of the stuff that's in there. But I'm such like I don't think I'm a hoarder, but
so you just have like, you put sentimental stuff on stuff that doesn't need it. No, I have the same issue.
Yeah, like a broken guitar, like a fucking like a bag with a pin in it. I don't even know whose bag it is, but I'm like this pin is in it. This somebody cared about this bag, and I'm just gonna get rid of it like that. And then I like
Where does this pin go?
Whose was this? But like it's like one of those things where I just look at stuff right before I throw it away, and then I just like make up in my mind some reason why I might use it someday. I'm like, I could probably use this bag to put all this other stuff I don't need in the bag, and then put the bag over there. And it's like, no, Jim, just throw it away. Yeah, just throw
I'll put
it
in
away.
My car, and then it'll just be there forever.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I'll never have to let it go. Yeah, dude. But yeah, it's coming together. Miss Moon, I'm actually scheduled for a haircut appointment. I scheduled one at Haircuttery. The one in Towson is permanently closed now. Because I usually get my hair cut by my grandfather, but I've been like, we've been having family dinners and stuff like that. But I was like, just in the sake of coronavirus awareness, I guess I'm not going to get my hair cut by him because that's like a prolonged time in the exact vicinity with him. And so I scheduled one at the Haircuttery, and I called him up, and I couldn't find the one in Towson. Apparently that one's just permanently closed.
Damn.
So I scheduled one at the one in Timonium, Lutherville Timonium, and then I told Miss Moon, and then she was like, "Oh no, I'll cut your hair." And so I'm like, "Hell yeah, I'm gonna get one of those K-pop cuts now, dude."
Hell yeah,
that's be sick, dude. I'll be like, just give me whatever you give Scott, dude. Scott's a 10. I want that haircut.
Damn, that's sick.
And I'm looking forward to it, dude.
I'm about to give myself a haircut again this week.
Dude, why don't you just get one from Miss Moon with me, dude?
I don't know. I'm still intimidated by Miss Moon.
Oh, really?
She's still, like, out of my friends' parents, she's the only one that still, like, has the parent energy to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know why. I think it was because one time I went over to Scott's house, and you would take your shoes off at his house. Mm-hmm. And I think, like, my shoes are, like, smelly because when I was in high school, I had to keep a pair of shoes for, like, 3 years.
Yeah, for sure.
And
use them for every single thing?
Every single day, cut the lawn in them, wear no socks, fucking take them in a stream, like, do whatever.
Yeah.
Be like, oh no, there's not a hole in the bottom. I don't need a new shoe yet.
Yeah. I can still walk in the rain. These are good.
Dude, and then she like was like, oh my God, these shoes smell. Get these outside. Whose are these? And I was like, no.
I never understood that was an Asian thing to take off your shoes in a house, because my dad always used to make us take the shoes off. I just thought that was like a cleanliness thing. Like
I think it's I think, you know, it's more like prevalent in those kind of cultures, but also like, I don't know, I think in like a lot of European cultures too, it's like a cleanliness thing of like, oh,
Yeah.
you're fucking walking around outside, the bottom of
Yeah.
your shoes touching dog shit. You
Yeah.
know, bring them on my carpet.
Exactly.
Get the fuck out of here, dude.
Like, my carpet in my apartment is noticeably dirtier than the carpet in my parents' house, and that's because my parents make everyone take their shoes off at the front door. And the first thing I decided when I moved out, I was like, when I move out, no one's ever taking their shoes off in my apartment, dude. I'm gonna have the chillest apartment. And then I had my
see feet.
yeah, and then I paid $100 to get my carpet steam cleaned once, and then I became an adult. I was like, this is ridiculous. Take off your goddamn shoes. Now I got slippers by the balcony.
There
I'm
you
just
go.
getting there, dude. I'm maturing. I think that's literally what maturation is. You just fuck up so much over the course of time. You're just like, okay, this is why my parents did this.
Yeah.
All those ridiculous rules. Like, but also there's other things. Like, for instance, I was talking about circumcision with Matt and Sig today on the podcast, and they were saying that was a Jewish thing, which I've always heard. But also, I feel like everyone I know is circumcised, and
Yeah.
so
I mean, it became like a general practice too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but also, I don't know. There, like, people do bring the question now, like, oh, we did it because of cleanliness, but that's not really an issue now.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know. People go different ways on it.
yeah. But
I don't
also,
know.
it does
I think it
objectively
just-
look better.
Yeah, it looks better.
Yeah, it just looks weird. Like my flaccid dick already nothing to write home about, but if it had like a little like hoodie on, I just feel like
Yeah.
I just feel like it looks like a dog dick. You know?
Yeah, it'd be weird.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure if we were uncircumcised, we'd be okay with it because it's like we wouldn't know any better.
But would our girlfriends be okay with it? That's the question.
I don't know.
You know, because
We'll never know.
I
There's
will
no
say
way to
this.
get it back. You know?
you can't get uncirced.
They took it from us, Jimmy.
Yeah, you took my foreskin, bro. But
we were traumatized at birth.
it is kind of true. It is kind of true. You never had a say in it, but I did hear that apparently it's like much more sensitive. So like sex is much more pleasurable when you're uncircumcised, which makes me feel like I've been missing out on sex for my entire life.
Yeah, I don't know.
And-
I'm sometimes still too sensitive, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I can't even imagine if I was uncircumcised.
You know what you need to do, dude? You need to, and this is for anybody listening, this is advice. You need to just jerk off dry all the time. And I know it sounds weird, but if you don't use lube, you can use lube sometimes. You can treat yourself with lube. I treat jerking off with lube like I treat like going out to eat. I'm like, okay, I think I'm really going to use lube tonight.
I can make a night out of it.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a whole thing out of it. I'm gonna load up the phone. I'm gonna go into incognito. But most of the time, if I don't really feel like I deserve it, I just go imagination, dry palm, and that kind of keeps, you know, it. I feel like I've lowered my sensitivity a lot, which is both a good thing and a bad thing. But I will say, when I'm having sex, I care much more about the other person's experience because I'm a giver for the most part than I care about my experience. So it's like, okay, if I got to lose some sensitivity to not bust in 30 seconds, I'll do that. I'll do
There
that
you
for
go.
you, you know?
Yeah. But also, now that you got your baby soft hands,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's gonna work that well. I think what was working for you was all those calluses.
Yeah, I was like jerking off with a fucking Thanos glove every night, dude.
Yeah, dude.
And now, yeah, my sensitivity has gone up. I've noticed.
Dude, I saw you on I didn't actually see you on WJZ, but I saw the picture you posted.
Yeah, I spent an embarrassingly... Well, I woke up to a text the next morning from a number I didn't know. And it was a group chat with that random number, my dad, and my brother. And it said, the dude on the news at 8 this morning. And it was a picture of me. And it was like the worst possible picture of me. And I was like, oh, great. I hope this wasn't a screen. I hope they didn't take like a still shot of me. And turns out it was my neighbor, Mr. Tim Anderson, who actually watches this a lot. Shouts out, Mr. Tim, my neighbor.
I see
he watches,
him in the comments a bunch.
Very active live stream chatter. But yeah, he saw me on there, and so I was like, ooh, this is juicy. This is cool. So then I went and searched myself, and I just like typed in, because I remember the news cameras being there. And when they were there, he was wearing a mask out in the street, and it was a class, and I was like on the roof of Riptide.
Yeah.
And so we're playing, and I see these two dudes walk by, and they like walk right past my point of view, and then I see the one guy go like, hold on 1 second, and he pulls the guy back, and then he comes back and sets up and starts taking video of me, and I was like, oh no. And of course I'm like mid-song making jokes. I'm like, hold up, dude, let me finish the song. I gotta fix my hair, it's probably not looking right now, blah blah blah. And then I was like making up headlines like local alcoholics play on all kinds of crazy shit. And I couldn't tell if he was even laughing or anything because of the mask. But I hope he was. But he took like, it was like a 2-second clip of me playing. I think I was in the middle of Tiny Dancer, which is my flagship song on Rooftops. And I made it in for a 2-second snippet, which is good.
Go.
Now I thought about this the other day. I make it on the news once every 18 months.
There you go.
Once every 18 months. It's not a bad average, dude.
Nah, dude. Better than me.
Because last time I was on the news was January 2019 for that Midday Maryland thing, where I played Girls Like You acoustically. And by the way, I finally was able to release that song. I told everybody I got the Spotify figured out. I put the song out, and I submitted it to a whole bunch of playlists. And what's funny about it, by the way, if there's any like artists listening, anybody who does music, definitely check out playlistpush.com. It's a really cool website. And what I like about it is it's not one of those like too good to be true websites. You know, like certain things where they like promise you listens and promise you plays and follows and stuff like that. This basically works like they have a bunch of playlists that are actually playlist curators on Spotify that are paid per song to listen to submissions, and they'll write like a little review of it, like a critique, basically explaining why they decided to accept or deny it for their playlist. And so you can spend like, I submitted a song to it last year, Try, which I produced myself. And I spent like $200 on submissions, and I didn't get into a single playlist out of like 28. And they were all just saying like, you know, stuff like production's a little shabby, this, you know, trying to be nice, but basically saying like, dude, hang it up. And that was embarrassing because they sent me an email like after the campaign ended, because the campaign goes for 2 weeks, and they sent me an email. It was like, Jimmy, thank you so much for using playlists. Would you like to send a thank you to all 0 playlists that accepted you? I was like, dude, nobody on the other side of this is like editing these bot emails. Like,
you don't gotta rub it in, dude.
All 0 of your playlists. I was like, okay, whatever. But so far, I've been accepted to 7 playlists with this one. Out of not all of them have responded yet. I think I submitted to a total of like 50 or 60 total playlists, and I think 15 have responded, and I've gotten into 7 out of 15, which is actually a really good average. Because I think my brother's only ever made it into 6, so I'm already way better artist than Dominic Selesky will ever be, and that's good enough for me, dude.
Yeah, that's what this was all about.
That really is what it was about, dude. But and then I told John and Joe not to promote anything until we had above 1,000 streams on Spotify, because I didn't want to look like a loser when people went there and saw I had like 3 plays on a song. They're like, you know, Jimmy, I always thought you were a loser and wasting your time pursuing this dream, and
now I prove.
Now I'm realizing I was right all along. You really are a pathetic. So now that I have 1,000, go check that out. Spotify. I got a big stream link in my Instagram bio. If you go to @JimmySelesky, and I created one of those fan links for the band, just like I have for the podcast, and it has Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, the whole 9. So check that out.
Hell definitely. Yeah, you should have the cast go out on it later.
I should do that, dude. I'll queue it up, or I'll just play it in the final episode version.
Yeah,
or I'll play it in the intro version. Maybe I already played it. Who knows? Weird that you were bringing that up, Eric, because I'm pretty sure we already played it.
Dude, that was the joke.
Oh, I got it. Oh yeah, dude.
Oh fuck. Dude, did you see the video? Apparently, like, so Post Malone looks like he's turning into a skinhead.
Really?
Yeah, he shaved off all of his hair, and he just has like all these weird like prison looking tattoos all over him. Mm-hmm. But like I think it was his like birthday yesterday or something, or today, and one of his friends just got him a like probably like foot by foot box of just Camel Crush cartons.
Hell yeah, dude.
I gotta say, and he choked up a little bit when he opened the box.
I think I would choke up a little bit.
He was like mid smoking a crush, and then he was like opening the box, and he's like, "Oh, come on, man, bring it here!" And he gave the guy a hug, and then just like started throwing cartons out of the box onto the floor.
I've really learned. I can see that a little bit. It's always a weird thing when like a friend gets you a gift, and I always feel bad because I've never been a big gift giver to my friends, because I've always had this weird toxically masculine idea in my head that giving gifts to your guy friends was a little like fruity or something like that. That's me. Yeah. That's just the way I just felt weird about it. So I've never given gifts to my dad for anything. Christmas, Father's Day, we just never done it.
Yeah. Dude,
so I'm not used to that.
The closest our friend group came to having a Secret Santa was when we were like, what if we just all got each other fleshlights? So then it wouldn't be embarrassing to have one.
Yeah, because you can own a fleshlight or a fucking blow up doll or like a big rubber ass, and it's not bad if you like if it's a joke. Like Mehedi had one in his frat house. It like sat on the kitchen counter, and I just remember being like, I know this is a joke, but I also know you guys fuck this thing. Like, there's no way you don't fuck this thing.
There's no way either you didn't make like a pledge fuck it, or one of you guys hasn't fucked it, either as like a joke at a party or just completely seriously on your own.
They probably wouldn't even let pledges fuck it because they were like, no, dude, that's our big rubber ass. Dude, you got to work your way.
I love her.
You got to be in this frat to hit that ass, bro. You're not going to fucking pledge Sigma Chi, where the hell he was in SAE.
Dude, I'm sure there's like frats that literally have like blow up dolls that are like hand-me-downs from the previous generations.
Certainly, dude. Probably one of those 90s blow up dolls with like, I feel like they tried to make 90s blow up dolls as unattractive as possible.
Yeah.
Like they literally had like
it was like a flat ass head. Mm-hmm. Like it was just it looked like a Bubble Man or whatever. What was like the guy's name when SpongeBob made that guy out of bubbles?
I think I don't know what his name was, but I know what you're talking about.
Probably
the Bubble Man.
All old sex dolls have the frame of Bubble Man. They just look like that, and then they just have a big hole at the bottom, and then a big like.
They didn't even try to make him hot.
Yeah, dude, with just like 3 inches of red lipstick around the hole.
Yeah, I feel like nowadays I don't think they make blow up dolls anymore. I think they're like legit like skin fiber technology or something. Like, I don't know. I gotta look into
just
it
like
now.
silicone molds.
Yeah.
Of like women.
Yeah, I remember feeling that the rubber ass at Mehedi's house, and I was like, Matt was my first. I was like, you guys gotta be fucking this because I would fuck this thing. First of all, it's a UMBC party, and this is the best looking thing I'm seeing right now. I'm over here hitting on this rubber ass, pouring it drinks and shit. So, like, you go here, or you just friends with one of the dudes?
Are you single? Or... oh my god.
That's crimety.
Crimety, dude.
You all right, dude?
God. Yeah, no, I have my windows open because I turned the AC off for the cast, and I just got a whole blast of pollen coming through.
Yeah, I had some pollen. I had a sneezing episode at the gym today, and I'm sure not everybody was big fans of it.
Oh yeah, well I told you every time I went to a protest and I like sneezed into my mask, I just assumed I was about to get my ass beat.
It's a lot of pressure, dude. Because
it's crazy.
But I will say, this thing, if you do this thing, for people who can't see, if you take your index finger when you're about to sneeze and you press it against the bottom of your nose, like right under the, like right above your upper lip, just straight across your upper lip, like you're giving yourself a finger mustache, and just push up against the bottom of your nose, you won't sneeze. I don't know what the science is behind that, but it works for me.
Did you see what you looked like when you just did that?
If you do this, I'm telling you, you won't sneeze.
I'd rather sneeze, dude. I don't want to look like that in public.
I didn't want to sneeze at the protest, so instead I just stood there.
Yeah,
Trust me, guys.
It looked like I was just intensely sniffing my finger at a protest with my mask off.
With your mask off. Yeah, but it really does work.
I mean, technically, like, that's what the mask is for.
To keep
is
you from
just
sneezing?
keep the sneezes in.
Yeah, that's
instead
true,
of
dude.
spreading them. So
I
it's
almost
like,
feel-
don't look at me like that if I'm sneezing into a mask. This is for you.
Exactly. I'm probably sneezing because, in my case, I haven't changed my mask in a month, and so there's so much pollutants on the inside that I'm literally, like, allergic to my mask at this point.
Maybe I'm just allergic to your bullshit.
Exactly, dude. I did get a new mask, though. I finally did.
Thank God.
I know.
Dude, you probably literally had mold in your mask.
I think I just lost it somehow, and I didn't. It was my only ever mask that I had ever, and I didn't realize that not all masks were extremely uncomfortable, which I think is why I was so annoyed at the mask policies at first. And then I put on like a good mask, and I was like, this isn't so bad.
Yeah.
Maybe they're not stripping away my human rights.
Dude, I've thought about it for a little bit that I think the mask isn't gonna go away.
Really?
Like, I think the mask for some people is like the beard. Like, the beard is for like a lot of people aesthetically because they don't have like a chin or like a defined jaw. Mm-hmm. And now that, like, if you can't grow a beard,
Yeah.
you got
It's
a
like-
mask, dude.
Yeah, it's like makeup for men, kind of.
Yeah.
And for I was kind of thinking about it, because it's like kind of like a. It's gonna sound weird, but I was thinking how, like, you know how, like, if you go to like Syria or something where like everybody's required to wear like the women are required to wear like the thing around their face and the headdress. And I remember this one.
Dude, they never get sick over there.
That's true. That's true. That's true. Look, find one person sick in Syria. I dare you.
It'll probably be a dude.
Yeah, probably. I remember this one girl in 4th grade. She was an Iranian chick named Tina, and she told me that her family went over to her home country of Iran. And
She told you that her brothers were studying to be pilots in Florida.
yeah, kind of thing. It was right around 2000, and she went over there and she was like, "Yeah, I would walk down the street and people would like curse at me and throw stuff at me because I wasn't wearing the thing there."
Jeez.
And I was like, "Damn, that reminds me."
Even as like a kid, that's crazy.
Yeah, well, that's just the cultural norm over there, and it's crazy because how quickly that's become the cultural norm here. That again, it's been a nice experience to see how quickly things can change and how
Do you
quickly.
think that the mask is to keep people from getting horny?
Probably population control, dude? I've always believed that, dude. It's population control, dude. They're not stopping us from dying. They're stopping us from fucking, dude.
They're stopping us from looking at DSLs, dude.
They're stopping us from getting each other's jokes. Can't even fucking hit on a girl anymore. It's impossible. Or actually, it's easier because now when they don't laugh at my jokes, I can just assume they are.
There you go.
It's good.
How many gigs are you in now?
I'm like in half swing right now. I played Lock Bar and Looney's last weekend, and then I played Looney's in Bel Air on Thursday this week. I played at Barley's Backyard Uptown
There you
on
go.
Friday, which I gotta say, I know we ragged on Barley's Backyard Uptown a lot in previous casts because of the name.
Yeah.
But now that I've kind of settled on just calling it Barley's, and I'm trying to make that catch, not sure if it will, because I'm almost 28 and everyone that goes there doesn't want to hear my opinions on what the bar should be called.
No one wants to talk to me. They don't give me the time of day.
Exactly. But if they would listen, I got some good things to say about what we could call the bar. But regardless of what we call it, I think they're doing better than they were when they were called Turtle.
Yeah.
Because I played there on Friday, 6 to 9, and it was like every table was full. You know, it was awesome.
I don't know if you should rat them out like that.
I mean, it was all socially distanced and stuff. Everybody was 6 feet apart
Yeah.
from their tables, but it was cool. It was cool. That was a really good time. And then I played, obviously, Riptide on Saturday. and then Sunday was my off day. But yeah, so I had 3 gigs this week, which is still like not where I was at, but I can kind of see it coming around a little bit, which is cool.
Yeah.
And my calluses are coming back, which is important.
Perfect.
But what else? I went grocery shopping today for the first time since the shutdown, I think.
Holy shit.
Dude, I'm telling you, bro, when I was working at
Oh yeah, just
Seasons all the time. And as I cut my hours back at Seasons, I had to cut in my grocery shopping. And it's like amazing. I forgot what it's like to have stuff in your house. But I
It's
also
nice,
didn't
right?
realize this. I've always been getting 2% fat Greek yogurt. Just cause. But then they were out of it today. And I got the full fat Greek yogurt today because I was like, "Fuck it, I gotta get my Greek yogurt, dude."
Yeah.
What would my grandfather think? And I ate it right before this podcast, dude. I didn't realize how much better the full fat version. It's there's no other. Literally, I was like eating it, and the word "lovely" just came to mind. I was like, "This is lovely." Like it was like delicate. I was like, "Oh my god, this is amazing!" Like I was eating it, it was so good. I think it's one of those things where like you get so used to eating, like for instance, diet soda, and then you taste like a real soda and you're like, oh my God, this is why people drink this shit. It's amazing. But yeah, it was lovely.
Damn. Well, I don't know. I don't know if I can compete with that. I did have really good pizza tonight. I heard about a place in Little Italy called Angeli's Pizzeria. It's like right behind the Reginald F. Lewis Museum on High Street, I think. It was good as shit, dude. It was fucking legit.
Well, also, you've been eating your own homemade pizza for the entirety of the shutdown, haven't you?
I've gotten Domino's once or twice, maybe a Papa John's in there. But, I mean, no, I've definitely gotten good at making pizza, but, like, I don't know. Like, they made the sauce with, like, fresh tomatoes, you could tell. And, like, they had really high quality toppings and shit. It was just really, really good.
Yeah. It's all coming back to me now. It's cool. Dude, did you know I read this?
Wait, what?
It's all coming back to me.
Yeah, elaborate on that.
I just realized what we're doing right now. This is live from the studio podcast. I'm Jimmy Zaleski.
I'm Eric Glazer.
And did you know? Guess what? The highest grossing movie in the country was in movie theaters last week or 2 weeks ago.
Ooh.
Is
let me think. It can't be. Definitely not Trolls 2, because that went to on demand. Did Scoob go to theaters? The Scooby-Doo movie?
I don't know, but I'll give you a hint.
Yeah, give me a hint.
It's not a movie that just came out.
Okay. So movie theater. So I bet the only movie theaters that are open are drive-ins.
Yes.
Okay. And what would play at a drive-in that's old?
Exactly. That's the question.
Well, I saw what was the movie where the M. Night Shyamalan movie where the kid saw ghosts?
Sixth Sense.
I saw that at a drive-in. Was that it?
No, but that would be sick to see at a drive-in.
Was it Shrek?
No, older.
Okay.
It came
Was
out.
it a kid's movie or an adult movie?
I would say an adult movie.
Okay. Was it live
kids
action?
love it. Live action.
Was it fiction or nonfiction?
I mean, it's based on a true story.
Okay.
Based on real characters that the story didn't probably happen. And let's just say the characters are prehistoric.
Okay. Jurassic Park?
Yes.
Ooh.
Jurassic Park was the most popular movie for movie theaters 2 weeks ago. 1993 Jurassic Park.
Jeez. The Lost World.
I think
Was that the first one's
No,
title?
that was a sequel. That was a sequel.
Okay.
Jurassic Park was the first one that had like Newman in it, and he gets eaten by the T-Rex.
Yeah.
That scene
And they have that
traumatized me.
dope ass Jeep.
Yes.
Yeah.
That Jeep untraumatized me, dude.
Yeah.
Because when Newman got eaten by that thing that spits tar, you know what I'm talking about? When he's like this big fat fuck, and he's like running, and he's like, oh, you know what
Well, he almost gets chomped in the fucking porta potty.
he almost does, but
Yeah.
the other guy gets
Yeah,
it.
but the tiny guy gets him.
Yeah, and then Newman runs away. He gets in the Jeep, and I remember. Do you remember there was like this shaving cream bottle that they had like stuff?
Barbasol.
Yes, I never knew what that was as a kid, but I always thought it
Dude,
was
you
so
had
cool.
Barbasol in your dad's or your parents' basement for
Yeah,
as long as you lived down there.
I
had
know.
it on your dresser next to your bed for some reason.
I did
As
never
if you
shaved.
used it to beat off.
Oh yeah, that's what I meant to
As
say.
if
Don't
you
jerk off
subbed it
dry,
in for
guys.
lube.
Jerk off with Barbasol. That's what I meant to say, dude. You'll never have to trim up, dude.
All those bubbles? Are you kidding me?
Oh my god! But I remember in that movie they had that can where he like put the stuff in or whatever, and I never knew what that was about. But that's completely unrelated. Anyway, the movie. I guess it's because nobody's
It's
making.
unrelated. Don't look at my Barbasol can. There's nothing in it.
Yeah,
Just
there's nothing in
shaving
it.
cream.
But
It's
yeah,
not a in plain sight hiding spot.
yeah. I always thought it was weird when you go to somebody's house and you'd see like the lotion right on the dresser, and you're like, dude, come on, have some respect for yourself. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's wild. Or just like I'll see I'll watch meme compilations and shit on YouTube, and they'll always have like Twitch streamers and shit in it. Mm-hmm. And like the joke of the video clip isn't that there's like a lotion bottle on their computer setup next to like anime posters and shit. Mm-hmm. But I noticed that, and that's hilarious.
Everybody knows that shit, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, right next to your fucking computer.
Yeah, I was never a big lotion guy. I just don't like there's just like a bigger mess.
It's
they
a
have to
bigger
clean
cleanup
up.
process, and it's very incriminating because
Yeah.
then you all have one hand that smells like it, and the other hand doesn't. And then if you try to like rub it in afterwards, it doesn't
Yeah.
work.
No, and then you always end up using too much lotion. Mm-hmm. And then it's just like, I don't know. It's always just like been a worse situation to me.
Yeah, it really was a thing of laziness that I just went dry after a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
Yeah, I don't know. Have you ever beat off with a condom before? Mm-hmm. Yeah. That was like early on. That was like probably high school for me.
I
I've
feel like
definitely done it more recently too.
I feel like I've done
Just-
it very recently, actually. I don't
Just
know why I
because,
did.
like, I think I might have even done it once during quarantine, just because I was like, I'm fucking bored, dude.
It helps with the cleanup. I was like, you know what? This will help with the cleanup process,
It's
dude.
just expensive.
Yeah. But I think I did it very recently, actually, to test out this condom brand that I got.
See if there are any leaks.
I was like, before I use this in action, I need to make sure this works with my hand a little
Did
bit.
some QC testing, dude.
But I was like felt very like weird while I was doing it. I was like, this is weird. I can't tell anyone about this unless I tell them publicly.
Unless I'm the one to admit it on air, live.
A nationally syndicated,
Yeah,
nationally
tagged on my Facebook.
that my neighbor is currently watching.
Just the biggest boomer live stream audience. I want them all to know.
Yeah. They're like, damn, that's a good idea.
Damn, and I thought we were the greatest generation.
These guys are safe as fuck, bro.
Oh my god.
Yeah, dude.
It's a very classy drink you have going over there.
It was very classy. I figured I'd break it out tonight. I ran out of Bud Light lines because my brother had people over the other night and just drank all of them. But it's like, what are you going to do? It's kind of
Yeah.
there for company. You know, I like it better when people just drink the stuff because it makes... Last time I had people over, I didn't have anything, and I just felt like a piece of shit the whole time.
Yeah.
We were doing shots of like Malibu and triple sec, eating olives.
Bitters. Like, there's alcohol in there.
There is
know.
alcohol in bitters, dude. It's
I
like
know.
40%.
Yeah. Just is very bitter.
Dude, you can get wasted off bitters, I think.
You said bitters and Sprite shots.
Let's see.
That'd be a good combo.
Bitters and what?
Bitters and Sprite.
You know what I used to do?
I think that might make it tolerable.
So we used to I told you about how we had the Jimmy Selesky at the Horse, right? Which is Diet Coke lemonade and Evan Williams. My friend Mark, the bartender, made his drink, and he would do it with whiskey, ginger ale, and bitters. And it was actually really fucking good. You can use it for a lot more things people know.
Yeah. Although I definitely have the same bottle of bitters that I've had for like 4 years. Like, you don't really rush through bitters.
Yeah. Yeah, I still have the same one I bought. And that's why I think that liquor doesn't ever expire, because you don't really... I mean, I burn through it pretty quick, but like the amenities, like the mixers and stuff, you can keep that shit forever. It like never goes bad,
Yeah.
which is good.
Yeah. I mean, and yeah, I don't know. I always thought like having one of those decanters would like somehow like fuck up alcohol. But I've had whiskey in my thing forever. And it's like, no, this still just tastes like whiskey.
Dude, speaking of decanters, it reminded me of fruit flies.
I'm remembering what this is all about.
Oh my God. Having another flashback. Today, I was chasing around a fruit fly in my apartment. Like chasing it around.
Yeah.
And I don't know where it came from. I'm imagining the Bud Light Lime. Because that has
There's
fruit.
fruit.
In it. There's fruit.
1% juice.
1% flies.
1% real juice.
The beer for whatever happens, including fruit flies. And it was like these 3 that were there. And I took a swat at it. And it was like the worst swat. It was like, I don't know how to describe it. Like, you know how like when you try to swat at a fly, but like flies for some reason are super quick and they just get out of the way because you're a human and you can only swat so fast.
Well, and also they like feel the wind coming at them first.
Also, probably they get blown out of the way by the wind now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, maybe that too.
Maybe they have no reaction time whatsoever.
Yeah, dude, we're just too powerful.
And I took a swat at it, dude, and I swear to God, I just flat out like missed. Like the fly didn't even move. The fly was here, and I just took the bitchest swat at it, and the fly didn't move. It was almost like it was taunting me. Like, that's the fucking best you got, bro.
You're playing chicken, and you fucking...
I
you
got
roosted,
mollywopped by
roosted.
this. Dude, I got roosted, bro. It was like the most... I was like embarrassed for myself. And then I took it personally, and so I was like really mad, and so I went to my room and got like a T-shirt and like rolled it up like how like dudes in high school movies like roll it up before they're about to whip somebody in the ass with it.
Did you get it wet? You pre-soak?
Actually, no. I probably would have had more luck if I did. I never got a single one of those motherfuckers, dude. I'm pretty sure they're still flying around right now, laughing at this story.
I had a fruit fly situation today. We went to go pick up those pizzas in Little Italy, and like somehow just like 2 tiny fruit flies got in my car like when Liz got back in with the food, and they're flying around, and we were like about to go on the Beltway, so I was like, fuck it, I'll wait till we get on the Beltway, open all my windows, and blast these dudes out of here.
Hell yeah.
But like right before we're going on the Beltway, I forgot about this too. Like I like drove up and back from upstate New York this weekend. So like I drove through Pennsylvania and like the woods in New York and shit. And like when you're just going like 70 on the highway, you just like constantly just hear like pops on your windshield. And it's just like thousands of bugs, just like you just slamming through them, high speed. So like I got to one of the lights right before, it was like President or one of the ones before that, right before you get on 83 from downtown, and the squeegee dudes were out, And for like the first time in my life, I was like, oh my God, I would love for them to clean my windshield right now. So like I got their attention. I was like, hey, get over here. And like I had $2. So I was like, fuck it. I gave him $2. And then he was like, thanks, bro. And then just kept walking. I was like, no.
He didn't even wash the window?
He didn't even wash the window.
What
But
the
also, like, I
fuck?
didn't say, like, hey, wash my window. But I did. I was like, you have the squeegee shit in your hands. I'll just call you over. I'll give you $2 so you know, like, I'm not going to fuck you over and give you, like, a quarter or some shit so you do a
Yeah.
good job. But, like, yeah.
Jesus, dude.
But I don't know. I thought about it as karma because I've gotten, like, they've cleaned my windows so many times for free.
Yeah.
Where I'm just like, don't worry about it. And they're like, oh, no worries. I'll just get you this time.
I had for the first time a squeegee boy draw a smiley face on my window, and I thought they only did that for like pretty girls.
Dude.
And I was like, oh, nice. That being said, I think I did have a girl. No, I didn't. It was Joe, my bandmate, not a girl at all. And we were driving out a lot. Hey,
They could have mistaken him.
they could have, dude.
He's a beautiful man.
He is a beautiful man. But he was in my car, and they did like the little smiley face thing, and I was like flattered. I was like, oh.
Okay. But then, get on the beltway. Windshield's still dirty as fuck. Just like dead bugs all over it. Get on the highway, blast open my windows, try to get the bugs out. And I'm driving from like all the way downtown up to Hamden. Finally get off on Falls Road and close my windows. And lo and behold, dude, the bugs are still there. They
Really?
fucking made it through the fucking wind tunnel. They somehow survived. I don't know how.
Dude, they have a way, bro.
So I kind of
Also-
was just like, fuck it, dude. They can stay in here. They'll like get baked out tomorrow.
What you need to get is something I've been thinking about getting for my car, and it's a car spider.
Yeah, just try and get us. No, honestly, I think I have a car spider already.
Really?
Yeah, I cleaned a web off my windshield today on the inside. It wasn't like a full web, but it was like one strand. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't a cobweb because like I got it with my finger and then it was like stuck on my finger for a couple minutes.
I always feel weird. I don't think you get a car spider. I think they just find a way into your car. But
yeah, exactly.
I, honestly,
like I think I already just had one for whatever reason.
I don't have that weird hang up that people have with spiders. I actually like spiders. I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't like
I don't
them on
mind
me.
them. I don't. If I see a spider in my apartment, I won't kill it.
Yeah, I look
I'll
at them as
either
my
just
friends.
like let it. Like if it's like, I don't know. If it's like a fucking wolf spider or some shit, I'll at least get it out of my apartment. But if it's just like a regular ass spider that's like small as shit, it can't do anything. Like its teeth aren't even big enough to pierce my skin.
Mm-hmm.
I'll let you kill all the bugs you want, dude. I don't want to.
Yeah, dude, for sure. Dude, I will never forget. I was never closer to a spider than I remember one time I was in the studio and
Dude, what about the one at your old apartment?
oh yeah, well no, that was a mantis. I had a mantis in my old apartment. I had the big ass spider at my parents' house that I would film making a web every night.
Yeah.
And that shit was dope, dude. Like watching a spider build a web was like one of the most fascinating things. It was amazing because I couldn't even fathom in my mind like how they knew how to do it. You know, like he would literally like rappel down from the tree to the fence and then climb back up and then do it again. It was the craziest shit. And so I would like watch it every night just to see what he was doing. And then I would just throw him shit. I would like find like a cricket and be like, here you go, dude. This is for you at the age of 22. And then I had the mantis at my old apartment, but there was this spider at my studio that I didn't realize was there. And I remember I was sitting at the desk and this mosquito was annoying the fuck out of me. And he was like buzzing around and I was swatting at him, missing all kinds of shit. And I took this swat at him and I remember I lost him. And then all of a sudden I heard this bzzz, 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 and I was like, what the hell is that coming from? And it was coming from like my desk. And so I look, you know how it's like a two-tier desk? It has the part that the computer goes on and that like where the keyboard goes in is a lower tier. In between the second tier and the lower tier, there was a web. And the mosquito that I was swatting at, I had somehow swatted into the web. And then I looked down and the spider was just chilling there with the mosquito that I was going after. And he just went up and fucking ate him.
Hell yeah.
And I was like, bro, I can't possibly kill you, dude. You're the boy.
Hell yeah.
Like, this thing was
dude.
annoying as fuck. I never felt closer to a bug in my life. And I've felt close to bugs before, dude.
Yeah. I think the thing that happened in my life that made me like not afraid of bugs was like I would go to summer camp for Boy Scouts and shit. Mm-hmm. And I just remember like on the last day of camp one time, like I think my like tent mate already left. Mm-hmm. And it was like the last day waking up. So it was like 6 days of probably not showering once. And just like in the sleeping bag, in my underwear, and then just like groggily waking up and stepping out of my cot, and then literally just a centipede falling out of my underwear, and just like looking at it and just being like, fuck.
Dude, there's
and
nothing.
Nothing has been worse. Nothing has even come close to being as fucking disgusting as that. So like,
I had a similar experience on a Boy Scout trip myself. I was there and I had left my shoes out front of the tent overnight. And we woke up in the morning groggily as always. You never get a good night's sleep on a tent next to your dad. I think it was a Cub Scout trip. I woke up and I went to go put my shoes on. When I put my shoes on, literally like 100 baby spiders crawled up my leg out of the shoe. Oh, and it was mortifying.
ooh.
But even then, I still maintained my allegiance to spiders. I was like, you know what? You're not so fucking bad. I also remember being in the outhouse they had at that camp. There he is right now.
Dude, I just saw it.
Oh my God.
I literally saw it, dude.
Holy shit, dude.
I thought something was crawling on my screen. That shit was big.
That fruit fly is our first official guest in months
I know.
on this podcast. He cruised by. Remember me? You slow ass motherfucker. Unreal, bro. That fruit fly's got some balls.
Dude.
He knew I was gonna do shit right now. My
Jesus.
reactions are way off. But
Damn, dude.
yeah,
We
dude.
just got photo bombed. We got pod bombed by a fruit
by
fly.
a fucking fruit fly, dude. But spiders are one thing. Centipedes, I've never had a good experience with a centipede. Anytime I've ever seen a centipede,
I don't think a centipede's ever done anything to like hurt me, but like, I don't know. They
You don't
just
know what
look
they're plotting,
so
bro.
fucked up. Anytime you see them, it just looks like a horror movie. It just doesn't make sense. There's just so many fucking legs, and they look so creepy.
It's like, bro, you literally have 100 legs. It evolutionarily doesn't even make sense. Snakes do the same shit as you with no legs. Why do you need 100 legs? It's crazy. It's like a fucked up way that they evolved. But I've never, anytime I've seen one, it always like, it's like eerie. I don't like bugs that cross the animal line. Any bug that can kill a regular animal, it's off for me, dude. Like I've seen those bugs that catch mice and shit, and I'm like, dude, no way. Like I was watching this video of a praying mantis catch a lizard and eat him. The lizard was trying to eat him, and then the fucking mantis got his ass. Because bugs...
Dude, I heard a story about ants eating a dog.
Alive?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Dude, I think that was some type of like... I remember hearing about this. I think that was like some type of like Native American torture that like when they would catch like the people, like part of their like traumatizing thing they would do to like the colonizers or whatever is they'd like catch you and tie you up and cover you in honey and throw you on an ant hill and just let the ants eat you alive.
Yeah, I mean that's like whatever like rituals for like adulthood for men and like tribes down south and shit.
Yeah, they make you get
where they
bitten
just
by
like make you get stung by a bullet ant to your dick or some shit.
But the stings the stings don't bother me as much as I think the thing that gets me about bugs more than any other creature is that bugs exist in a world that is non-sentient. Like, I don't think bugs feel pain or something. I don't think they feel pain. I'm pretty sure they don't.
Yeah, well, I don't think they have like self-consciousness or like they're all controlled by like
not self-conscious,
pheromones.
dude. Very
or,
cocky.
Like, I don't know how to describe it. I'm dumb.
They don't have
they don't have free
self-awareness.
will.
Yeah, they don't have free will, dude.
They don't, dude. They're all getting controlled by queens, fucking armpit sweat and shit. Like, come on.
True. Armpit sweat is a big one that
Yeah,
controls bugs.
they're all horny.
Yeah.
They just want to smell the queen's feet after she doesn't wear socks.
All bugs are foot guys.
Yeah, it's
ridiculous.
crazy.
It's ridiculous.
That's why they got so many of them.
They all have 100 feet, dude. Can you imagine being a fucking foot guy as a centipede, dude? It's like send pics, 100 of them. Like, bro, I don't even know how that much data, dude. Like, come on, bro.
Just naming each one of the feet. This one's Lucy. This
Fucking
one's Samantha.
Foreplay as a centipede must be terrible, dude. Just sucking on each toe. Like, I'm never gonna get it in, dude. This is ridiculous.
It just takes too long.
I'm not even halfway up your abdomen, your thorax yet. What is? I'm not even halfway up your thorax.
Can you
bro.
even feel this? You have an exoskeleton.
I don't even have
Do
free
bones
will.
have nerves?
And you're gonna eat me after this, dude. You're gonna fucking eat me after I do all this bullshit, dude. Male bugs are the biggest fucking cucks.
Dude, they're
I think
simps, dude.
they are simps, dude. They literally are like, I would die for you, literally, and they get eaten. And it's like, do they know they're gonna get eaten? No, but the female knows that she's gonna eat him. You know. Like, bugs definitely don't have a sense of life and death. There's no way. But then again, they have an instinctive.
I feel like bees do. Because
Dude,
they
bees-
know that, like, they can only use their stinger once.
They don't know
So they,
that,
like,
dude.
avoid... I don't know. I feel like they kind of do. I feel like a bee's first reaction isn't to sting. A wasp's is, because they know they got a couple in them.
Dude, I feel like young kids don't even have a sense of life and death and understanding that you can die and a sense of mortality, and teenage kids do all kinds of crazy shit because they don't think they can die. There's no way you're going to try to tell me that a fucking bee, a bug that evolved before ants, I'm pretty sure bees are pre-ant. And ants to me seem like the oldest bugs. The shorter the name, the older the bug. That's how
It's like domain names, dude.
Yeah, it's like you just got to keep getting longer.
3-letter domain names are all taken up.
Yeah, that's
now.
how Mantis had. They were like, oh man, ant's taken. Or I'll put an M up front, is after man.is, whatever, dude. But what the fuck was I talking about? Yeah, I don't think that those animals like cockroaches and shit, I don't think they have that. And I, like we were saying, they're not sentient, and so the way they eat each other is like brutal. They just
Yeah.
fucking like tear each other apart. And when you see a mantis catch like a mouse or something that is sentient, that can feel pain, and they just start like digging their face into like whatever they can get a hold of, just eat you hand first. Can you imagine getting eaten hand
they
first?
they know to go for the fucking necks though. I've seen those videos too. Like I saw a mantis take it down like a frog, and he just like straight up decapitated it. Just slowly but surely, but just like pinching its way across. It's crazy.
It's just
I mean, they know to do that, you know?
Yeah. There are certain
I mean,
things.
even like dogs fucking... They'd go for vital part. Like any... I feel like any animal, for whatever... Like, however they figure it out, they know how to go. If it's like a life or death thing, they go for a fucking eye or a neck or a fucking groin or... I don't know.
I will say this. I think that there's a certain thing to be said for like a baby knows when he's hungry. Like a baby knows, and like when you're a kid, before you even know what sex is, I just remember like one day, I was thinking about this. I was like, when did I just decide to start like jerking off or like anything that I was doing as a kid? It just like happens. Like all of a sudden one day you wake up and you just get this like weird urge that you've never felt before. Like I was like, dude, do you realize it? For the first 12 years of your life, you didn't jerk off once, ever,
Yeah.
every
Well, I
day.
mean, you kind of like... You do shit where it's like, oh, this feels good, but I don't know
Yeah.
why.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know what part of this is making it feel good.
Yeah.
So it's going to take a while to figure that out.
But
and then you like overhear someone be like, dude, yeah, just fucking beat off.
fucking beat
It's
up,
that
dude."
easy. Okay.
But bugs don't overhear shit from other bugs, dude. They're not like, dude, you got to
Yeah,
fucking
they
do that.
smell it, dude.
Dude, ants don't even have like you said, okay, let me ask you this, Eric. Let me ask you this.
Bug expert.
Bug expert Jimmy Selesky, dude.
No, I'm the bug expert, dude. I got the glasses here. Come on.
All right, dude. And I'm the skeptic. I'm the one I'm a fucking journalist. I'm like, all right, bug expert. Let me ask you this. How can an animal that lacks free will or self-awareness have a concept of life and death or how to eat something consciously?
Are you trying to tell me that simps can't do those things either? Because we've already established that ants are simps.
We have established that ants are simps. And simps are ants.
Okay. So I want to hear your argument against that.
I think that a simp is someone who is controlled by their urges for, let's say, a female because she's beautiful. And they are so controlled by their urges of lust and another really good word that I could say right now that I can't think of. Infatuation.
Correct. 1 point goes to Team Selesky.
Word expert, Jimmy Selesky. The thesaurus.
Jimmy the Selesky.
Jimmy the Saurus Selesky, bro. They are so controlled by these urges that their instinctual overrides their self-awareness of how much of a simp they're being. So they allow themselves to just do shit that is embarrassing and cringy and emasculating and demoralizing because they are controlled by their bug brain.
Thank you for using the scientific terms.
I had to look in my fucking book. Bug brain. Got it. And so what you're seeing, what you're witnessing in a bug is that same process. They are driven by instincts with no control or self-awareness for what they're doing, which, like I'm saying, no man in his right mind would allow himself to be eaten by a chick the second after they fuck. What man would do that? I'm sure there's a couple.
I'm sure there's
Come some king simps, dude.
Please.
But the ultimate form of a simp is a cuck. And even most cucks wouldn't even do that, dude.
Yeah. That's true.
Maybe like one. Let me go lighter real quick, by the way. 1 second.
Dude, I think I got your fruit fly. A fruit fly came onto my monitor now. It's unfair. I don't know what sort of magic you used, but now I'm experiencing your fruit fly. It's on my screen.
I hope that this fruit fly is taken in because we have now taken this podcast to a point where we've spent the past 15 minutes shitting on bugs. And I'm glad we are.
Dude, I had I saw like 1 or 2 roaches in my apartment, so I was doing a bunch of YouTube research on how to get rid of them. Mm-hmm. So I put some traps out, but like the 2 that I saw I killed because I was like, fucking get the fuck out of here. But one of them I killed like too good, and I literally smashed it so good it made the loudest pop I've ever heard. Like it sounded like a firecracker went off.
Yeah, dude.
Unreal.
It's an exoskeleton, bro.
It was crazy. But I put some traps out, and then I got one of those, like, I don't think they even work, but it was one of those things you plug in the wall that sends out waves to keep bugs away. Mm-hmm. But I haven't seen one since. So, like, it might work. But
you're
also
saying you
the
sent
company,
a message.
I sent a message. It just sends out electronic waves that only bugs can hear. And it says, hey, get out of here.
It says it in whatever respective language they speak.
Yeah. Cockroachian. But I got something in the mail today from the company I bought that bug speaker from. My bug Bluetooth speaker that just plays bug rock music. And I have a bunch of uptight conservative cockroaches that I'm trying to kick out of my apartment.
If it's too loud, you're too old, bro. Fucking conservative cockroaches sitting there, dude.
But I got a thing in the mail from that company, and it was like, hey, if you write a good Amazon review and send proof to this email, we'll send you $30 on Amazon.
Proof of what? That you
That
had
I
success?
put a good review.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So
I thought
I'm
you had to prove that you killed cockroaches.
No. But the thing was like $30. So like, I guess they're just like paying me off, or like, but also that it like, so like, how many reviews on Amazon are that? Because I got that because it was like the best reviewed thing.
Yeah.
So like, how many of them are getting their money back for just putting a free review? And also, how's this company making money if they're doing this? And it's like, what else is this bug speaker doing?
Probably what they're doing is, and if I was a bug speaker businessman, I would say, guys.
If I was the CEO of Bug Bows,
Bug Bows. I would say, guys, we have this product, right? It's a product that no one's heard of before. No one's ever heard of a Bug Bows. No one's ever heard of getting rid of bugs via sound waves.
I think people have, because I even remember like my parents having one of these things. That's what made me look into it.
Okay, let me
It's
rephrase
just like
that.
it's just a little plug-in device. It looks like, it's kind of the size of a mouse, and like it just plugs in, and then it has like a little speaker on the front, and then it has 3 levels of loudness that you can crank to keep bugs away.
Okay, let me rephrase my previous hypothesis.
And dude, I haven't been seeing any bugs.
So,
But I also do want my $30 back.
exactly. If I'm the CEO of Bug Bows, I'm going, okay, maybe people have heard of this technology, but no one knows really how it works or how much it should cost, because it's such an esoteric product. Like, I know how much a cheeseburger costs. I know how much a phone should cost. I know how much a drink at a bar should cost. But if you were to ask me right now, prior to telling me this story, how much a bug repellent Bluetooth speaker would cost, I would have no concept of that. And so I think what they're probably doing is taking a product that could probably be produced for under $5 with parts and labor if they're mass producing it, selling it for twice the amount that they would actually have to sell it at, because people don't know the difference. If I see something that's $30 and I'm like, okay, I would pay $30 to get rid of my roaches. That's cool. I'll pay that. Then everybody goes to the website and they buy it from Amazon for $30. And then they have this deal that says, hey, even if you didn't like it, we'll give you $30. We'll refund you in full to leave us a good review on our Amazon page so that more people buy this product. And they know that statistically, if something's only $30, there's only a certain amount of people that are going to go through the effort of doing that to get their money back. There's also a certain amount of people, placebo effect, that will probably think that their bug solution is being remedied by the speaker. So they might be going, I feel like I've seen less roaches. I feel like it might be working. I mean, it's only $30.
Eddie.
Exactly. So they're going, look, worst case scenario, we sell this product for way more than it's worth, and then we have to refund it. But for every one person that writes a good review and gets their money back, there's going to be, let's say, 3 people that just eat it and take it. And also, even that one person that did get their money back still gave us a good review on Amazon. So that's going to be 5 more people that read that review and go, I'll get this too. So they're working the odds right now, dude. They're literally probably selling a product that does nothing. Nothing.
I don't know, dude. I think
That's
it's
what I
working
would do.
for me.
They're selling holy
I
water,
want to
bro.
believe it's working for me.
You want to believe it, dude. Because you don't want to believe that you got gypped by Bug Bows, dude. Because that's not a
Right.
good story.
Let me just read this ad read real quick. Live from the studio is brought to you by Bug Bows. If you got bugs, You got no hose.
Bug Bo's nose.
$30 on Amazon. Right,
The highest quality,
cast.
best hits of the 80s for cockroaches. You'll get rid of all the conservative cockroaches, and all you're gonna have is a bunch of chill, young, hip, liberal cockroaches that are like, hey man, I just feel like, like we're all living here, bro. Like, maybe I should be able to eat your crumbs, dude. Like, that's just what I'm thinking. And that's what you're dealing with, dude. You're dealing with hippie roaches right now, dude.
Yeah, dude, they're protesting on
fucking literally right smoking roaches in your room.
I don't think so. I think I got rid of I think I nipped it in the bud.
I hope so, dude.
I think I got it taken care of.
Why don't you just go for the old school raid, bro? Raid them.
Because I don't know. I don't want that sitting around my apartment and shit. Just like poison on my floor that I'm just walking on and shit.
True.
Yeah, but that was a couple weeks ago now. And then that letter came in the mail like yesterday.
Dude, I'll tell you why I said that theory and why I'm coming at it from such a pessimistic angle. Yeah. And the reason is because I had a similar...
bought a Bug Bo's. It didn't work.
I'm listening to it right now, dude. These are the worst songs ever. I'm going to leave my apartment, dude. This Bug Bo is going to make me leave my apartment. It just plays music that no one likes, and everybody leaves. Fucking Liza Minnelli.
Hell yeah.
Enya. Who can say where the time goes?
Cockroach versions of bad songs. Papa Cockroach. The hits.
Instead of Kids Bop, Cock Bop, dude. Cock Bop.
A lot of sales for unsuspecting people.
Oh, this is a bug repellent?
Just in multiple, like, when you go on a song on Spotify and it shows what playlists people put it in. Multiple, just fucking sex playlists with bug repellent music in it.
Oh man, I got something.
So Spotify has been doing something weird where like they have this like daily playlist, but they'll like throw in like NPR and shit. They'll throw in like tiny clips of like news articles and shit. So I can't imagine just like throwing on your like Spotify to like bang, and then mid foreplay just like, I'm Susan Jones, and today in Darfur, 30 militants got shot by the police. It's like, damn. Come September, fucking Rogan just comes on.
Yeah, man, it's a crazy time.
Joe Rogan podcast, check it out. You time the strokes to the intro music. Bum 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 bum.
I'm so used to jerking off dry to this, I just came instantly. It's like, dude, I cut Joe Rogan on for one reason, one thing only: to jerk off into a condom.
To set the mood.
Set the mood. Dude, I got something from Uber Eats over the weekend. I got McDonald's. And this is what I'm talking about. This shitty business model that people have. So, and I might be wrong in this one. I feel like this is a rant that I might be wrong in, but it's what I feel. I got a McChicken, a fillet of fish. Every time I'm drunk and I get McDonald's, I get the full every type of animal that I can get from McDonald's. I get a Big Mac, just the sandwich. I get a double quarter pounder with cheese, large meal with the fries and a Diet Coke, honey mustard, dipping sauce, and then I get McChicken, and then I get a fillet of fish. So I've covered everything. Every type of meat you can get there, I get it. And then I ordered a couple other things for the people I was with. And
that was all for me, but
yeah, it was literally all for me. I was like, "What do you want?" They're like, "I'll take some nuggets." I'm like, "All right, cool." And
all right, cool. Wait, can I have some too?
So I placed the order, and it gets there, of course, they give you like the latest, they're like latest possible delivery time, and it was like 2:20. And then you just watch the clock.
2:20 comes by. They're like,
Yeah.
your order is delayed.
Yeah, and they just scoot it up and scoot it up. So you wind up getting it like 30 minutes past their worst case scenario, which you've come to expect. It's fine. That's the perfect example of supply and demand. Late night food is you only have so many options. There's only so many places they're willing to deliver to your drunk ass, even if they were
There's
open.
only so many drivers out and
Exactly.
about.
So you want food, bro, you're going to deal with it. Nobody would tolerate that at 3 p.m. on a Tuesday, getting a 2-hour late delivery. But for some reason, when you're hammered at 2 a.m., you're like, all right, fine, whatever, I'll deal with it because I have no choice. So they know
Especially
that.
with fast food.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, dude, where are you ordering from? So I get the order, and I have everything but the McChicken. And the whole time I was making this joke, I was like, I know for a fact that when I order from Uber Eats, I would literally bet my life at any given juncture, on any given circumstance, when I order McDonald's, Uber Eats past 1 a.m., that there is no chance that I'm getting everything I ordered. I just know that. There's going to be something not there. It's just the way it is. And so I get it, and of course, it's missing the McChicken. Now, that's why I order so much at night, because I know I'm only going to get a certain percentage of it. So I order every possible thing I can think of and then just see what they bring me. And I didn't realize you could do this, but if you don't get something in your order, you can go into like the help section and it'll just say, and here's how I know that they know this happens. It's so streamlined. You go there and it's like, what's the problem? And it's like the first option is like, I didn't get everything in my order, an item was missing or something like that. You click on it and then it immediately pulls up a list of your order, and then you just check the box of whatever you didn't get. And there's no like verification of it. They don't check. So like literally you could really, if you wanted to, you could just say you didn't get like a bunch of shit and get a refund for all of it. But I just clicked the McChicken, and so I clicked it, and then immediately $1.93 was refunded to my account.
Justice was served.
But then I was thinking, and I was like, and this is where I feel like I might be wrong. Because there's a part of me that feels like if you order food from a place and you spend money and you tip based off of that and you pay taxes based off of that, that when you don't get an item, there's a certain like inconvenience level to that as well. You know what I mean? Like, dude, I wanted this thing. I ordered it. I waited 2 hours for it. And then when it came, it wasn't there. And so the next morning when I'm hungover, I wake up and be like, oh, by the way, I didn't get that McChicken. And they're like, all right, fine, we'll refund you that exact amount. And it's like, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the boomer in me. But part of me feels like it's not enough. It's like, dude, they're so used to fucking shit up that they just say like, all right, we know people aren't going to get shit. We're not even going to bother checking that you got your shit because we know everyone never gets shit. And so instead of like making our company better at doing this, we'll just do this instead. Which again, isn't a problem. Like I got my $1.93 back. But I guess the moral of this story that I'm getting at is that there are certain companies that instead of addressing the issue and being like, okay, this is our weak spot and this is how we have to fix it, there's other companies that are just like, look, we suck. We know we're going to suck, but also we're your only fucking option. So order whatever you want. You'll get what we give you, and then we'll just refund you the difference. No problem.
Yeah.
It takes 3 seconds. And I can kind of respect that, but that's what I think this Bug Bose company is doing, dude. They're just looking at it and going, look, why would we waste our fucking time making a product that works? That's ridiculous. Why would we waste our time coming up with bug repellent music technology? Something that I've never even heard of. Why would we do that when we could just simply sell a product that really doesn't actually do that, but we're going to make money anyway? That's what Uber Eats does. Dude, there's no fucking chance That's why I don't know if Uber Eats is ever going to take over in the delivery world. Because, and this is why I say this, because this hits close to home with me. Because I've been a delivery driver for the past 3 months now. If I go on a delivery and I don't bring something, like I forget a drink or something like that, I have to go back to the store, no matter how far the delivery was. No matter how far the delivery was, I have to go back to the store, grab it, and drive it back to them. Because there's a certain sense of pride in the company that says, this is what you wanted, this is what you ordered, and this is what you paid us for. And it is our job to satisfy that.
Yeah,
you wanted this for lunch.
But it wasn't McDonald's that forgot your McChicken.
Oh, I know.
So there's like a
Eats.
disconnect. So like, but there's not, like, they can't just, I mean, I guess they could, but they're not just gonna have a dude go back and get one McChicken.
Yeah, I know. But that's
if
what
it
I'm
was
getting
McDonald's doing it, then there might be a thing where it's like, ah, fuck, here you go, we'll bring you a new McChicken. But I think there's just like a level of disconnect where,
yeah.
I don't know.
Well,
I don't know how much more they could be doing.
There's 3 degrees of disconnect you're dealing with when you order an Uber Eats thing. And that's why I'm never confident. The first degree is whoever is ordering it on their phone. So everybody's sitting drunk in a room. Somebody they're like, yo, Jimmy, what you want? I'm like, oh, let me get a McChicken, filet fish, Big Mac sandwich, double quarter pounder cheese, large meal with Diet Coke. And then whatever drunk asshole is typing it in their phone is like, and types it in.
So Diet Coke. What else do you want?
You said McFlurry, what? And then, so you're dealing with that. Then it goes to McDonald's, which is a whole other level of disconnect at 2 a.m. when you're dealing at McDonald's at 2 a.m., which is people that don't want to be there, understandably, who are sitting there looking at some drunk guy's order and going, whatever, just throw it in the fucking bag. So now you're at 2 degrees of disconnect. Then you go to the Uber driver who goes to pick it up, who you would think at a regular delivery company like myself, before I leave the store with the delivery, I make sure that everything is in the bag. I check the bag. I check to make sure all the drinks are there. I check to make sure the pizza toppings are right. I do all that because I know that if I show up to the house and it's not right, I'm going to have to drive back and drive back again. So there's a level of responsibility that I have there. And so, but with Uber, it's like now you have 3 different dudes that don't give a fuck. One's your drunk friend, the other guy's the employee at McDonald's, and the other guy's the Uber driver who doesn't want to. No, none of which want to be doing this right now. And then by the time it gets to you, it's done. So I feel like I don't think that Uber Eats is ever going to take out the store delivery driver.
Yeah, I don't think so.
But I could be wrong.
I think you're fucked, dude.
Well, I'm not doing that shit anymore anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I put in my last week. I think I'm just finishing out June, and then I'm good to go.
Really?
Even though I don't know if I'm still eligible for unemployment because I was a day late on my weekly certification this past week.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that makes me. My brother literally went over 1 week, like he worked too many hours, and he was like, "Oh, should I just lie and say I made under?" Because he only made $20 more. And that $20 more was the difference between him getting $600 or nothing. Yeah. So he was like, should I just say I made $20 less? And I was like, well, in your situation, Ruth's Chris and Seasons, both companies that you're working for, track you on W-2 and shit like that. So it's like if you put it in and they can easily trace that and be like, no, well, we're looking at your pay stub right now.
Then you're kind of, yeah.
So I was like, Dom, just bite the bullet this week. I missed 4 weeks. I told everybody I missed 4 weeks in the beginning because I didn't realize that was how it worked. And I just had to eat it, I just had to take it, because I didn't know at the time. So I was like, just bite the bullet. So he put in that he made more that 1 week, and then he got a letter in the mail 2 days later that said his unemployment was canceled.
Damn.
So now he just is off of it. And I was like, what the fuck? And so now I'm worried that because I was a day late on my weekly certification this past week that they're just going to boot me off.
I don't think so. I mean, just do this week's right now,
True. Yeah, I should do it right now before they boot me off so I can at least get this next coming week.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I've been sick to my stomach about that all day, too. It's been stressing me out. But I called them, and then they now have that thing that we were talking about before where you can, tell them to call you back and leave your number. but then like they still don't call you. So like I left them my number. I listened to a robot talk to me for literally probably 10 minutes. That thing talks to you. And then finally it's like, and then at the very end it's like, oh, by the way, we can't take a call right now. I'm like, oh, motherfucker. I thought I was on hold this whole time listening to you talk to me. And then at the end they're like, oh yeah, but also, yeah, no. So do you want to leave your number? You don't lose your spot in the queue. And I was like, fine, I'll type in my number. So I typed in my number thinking I would get a call in the next 4 hours of some sort. And I had my phone on like non-silent, which I never do, which I feel like nobody our age does, which is like have a ringtone. Again, I haven't done that since high school. Mm-hmm. And never got a call.
Dude, ringtones are crazy. I remember like the funniest thing that I did as a kid. Me and my brother changed my mom's ringtone to like Candy Shop by Lil Wayne. And she just didn't know how to change it to not have that as her ringtone. It was beautiful.
That was
I wouldn't
like,
even know how to do that now. That was back when you bought ringtones.
Yeah, I don't think that's a thing anymore. I don't think people have ringtones. I don't know anybody that their phone. iPhone
I don't know
users,
anyone with a custom ringtone.
I think iPhone users, and this is something that annoys me about them, is they do have the sound for texts. They have that like, vroom, vroom.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why do you have that, bro? Sometimes it makes me think that they want you to know that you have an iPhone or something like that.
I think it's like, I don't know, like, do they just want you to know you're getting, like, I'm getting text right now?
Like, I'm getting a
Because,
text.
like, you turn that on. Like, there's a little switch on the side of your phone that's like, do you want it to play the loudest fucking sounds all the time? And I usually have that turned off.
Yeah, obviously, dude.
The vibration's enough. I don't
'Cause
really
also-
even have, the only thing that makes noise on my phone is my alarm.
Yeah, and
Like
that's how
my-
it should be.
My phone just vibrates for everything else.
Yeah, alarm, or if I'm watching a video. That's the only time my speakers ever get put to work.
Yeah.
You know? And yeah, I don't understand that because I think it's like this. For me, I also, like, if I'm not looking at my phone, like a text message, like I'll look at my phone and see I got a text message. I don't need to know in that very instant that I got a text message, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't want to like burden myself with that responsibility.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
There was one thing that happened to me this week that I thought was well, actually everybody knows about this. It happened right after we finished the live stream last week. The whole Uzo Bay controversy thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I saw that. That was interesting.
Did you watch the video ever?
I did. Pretty damning.
Damning is the word. And I will say the one thing about that was that manager was like the worst at dealing with that situation I've ever seen in my
Yeah.
life. Like
he,
it was
he
like,
must have missed the Zoom meeting.
how to deal with racial accusations. He like he was like doing everything that would make you think that like it was what it was. Like he was like, I'm sorry that you feel this way.
Yeah, it's like,
I
oh,
understand
no.
that you're upset. It's like, dude, what are you doing, bro? It was so stupid.
Yeah.
And so I play for them, and I got this email. I actually got a Facebook message, a long Facebook message from this dude that I'd never met before, but he's like a classical musician that plays there because Atlas has like a bunch of different locations and they have a bunch of different performers that play there, and some of the like classier ones don't have dudes like me who drink and play Matchbox 20. They have dudes that play like the cello and shit and stuff like that. So this guy messaged me and was like, we need to do something about this, blah, 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 blah. And he started this Facebook group, this private Facebook group. And he invited like all the musicians to. And I went to it, and not really much was going on. I think everybody was kind of tepid a little bit. That he was like, we didn't invite corporate, we didn't invite anybody that works there. We just like, this is just musicians, blah, blah, blah. And I went to it, and I just kind of let it sit for a bit because I was thinking like, I'm gonna see if anybody's like actually discussing anything right now, because I don't want to be like the first person to say something and then just get fucking like, I just didn't, I wanted to see what the vibe was within the group, you know what I mean? And it looked like it was just mainly these two guys that are kind of running it, and they drafted up this petition of sorts that it was just, it was like I wanted to be behind what they were saying, but at the same time I didn't sign it. I didn't sign it because it was like they took it to this level that was like beyond what I thought was appropriate. Because I'll be honest, my personal experience playing there, and this isn't because of anything money related. If I never play there again, that'll be fine. It has nothing to do with money related. But I've played there in the past where my cousin came to go see me play at Chop Tank. My cousin Joe. Actually, I don't know which cousin it was because I didn't recognize the number, but he was like, "Yo, it's your cousin. I'm coming to see you play."
He had the mask on. You couldn't tell.
Yeah. This was actually I think last fall he came to see me at Chop Tank.
Okay, yeah.
And he walked up to the door and he texted me right. I was like, "They wouldn't let me in because they said I was wearing these boots or something like that." And I was like, what the fuck? He was like, "Yeah, man, I told them I was trying to see you, but they were like, nah, I can't come in because I'm wearing these boots." Like, that's so stupid. And I was like, yeah, but that's their policy or whatever. And then also myself personally, I played there at Lock Bar actually I was playing with Joe, the other guy in my band. We played during the Ravens Titans playoff game this past January. And I showed up in a Ravens jersey, which kind of makes sense, obviously. And they told me I had to take it off in order to perform, and I was a performer. Mm-hmm. And so I've had the dress code affect me. I've had the dress code affect people around me. It was never my interpretation that it was done so in a racial manner. I will say that I spoke about how the Zoom meeting that we did the past week, where we had to do that 1 hour Zoom meeting or whatever, and this person got on, they told us all this shit they were going to do and all these precautions and policies that we had to follow and everything like that. And then I showed up and I was nervous about it. I told her I was like literally nervous to play that gig because I was so scared that I was going to fuck something up because it seemed like it was me so strict. And then I showed up and virtually, I mean, they abided by precautions, but it was like all the same precautions that every restaurant goes by, like, except for the fact that they checked our temperature at the door. That was like the one thing that they did differently. Everything else was like pretty much normal. Like, yeah, like the servers wore masks. The customers had to wear a mask if they got up from their table, but if they were sitting at the table, it was fine. But like all the other shit that they were saying, like performers might have to wear gloves or maybe even wear masks when they're singing, it was like none of that shit came into effect. And so it was like all these policies that were not followed, basically. And so when I first saw that video at Ouzo Bay, my immediate thought was like, damn, first of all, it was like because the manager handled it so poorly, it really did make it look like that was what was going on. But and I'm not saying that that's not what's going on. I'm just saying I don't personally believe, in my experience working for them, that they were literally like, oh, well, this is a black family, we're not letting him in. I have a hard time believing that, especially considering that I play at a location like Lock Bar where sometimes more than half of the clientele in there are black. It would be hard for me to imagine that this restaurant group is actively discriminating against black people. Meanwhile, when I play at a lot of their locations, it's predominantly black. It's just a weird cognitive thing for me. What I would say, and what I think happens, and I think part of the issue is that because I worked in restaurants for a long time. And I work in restaurants I worked in restaurants as a server and a bartender for a long time. And I work in restaurants now 5-6 days a week as a performer. So I'm familiar with the culture and the bartenders and how everybody works and things like that. And to me, when I saw that video, I immediately thought, one family walks in and you walk in and there's some 22-year-old hostess at the stand texting, something like that. Let's say the white family walks in, 22-year-old hostess sitting at the stand texting, blah, 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 blah. And she looks up and says, oh, you guys have a reservation? Okay, cool. Okay, yeah, your table's right this way. And she's mid-talking to some fuckboy on her phone and walks over, takes him to the table, sits him down. She doesn't give a fuck about the dress code. She's not enforcing it. Then another family walks in and perhaps they get sat by a manager who does enforce a dress code. Now you're dealing with somebody who, because not everybody, the same way that they didn't enforce the COVID policies, these dress code policies are only as strong as the people enforcing them. Yeah. So what happens is you walk in, one person gets sat by a person who doesn't give a flying fuck. Like, I worked in bars for how long and didn't even card people because I didn't give a shit?
Yeah.
Even though
that was the same thing at the movie theater. It was like they had somewhat of a dress code, or like they had whatever rules of letting people in, or like not having bags or whatever. But like, I don't know. If if I saw someone and they weren't observing the dress code, but like I could tell that it's like, oh no, there's just like a dude that wants to see a movie.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna fucking be a dick, because it's
Exactly.
like at that, because like, you know, you're just losing money by turning away like a good customer.
And
I don't
and
know.
that's
It's
the,
also
that's
a thing too where it's like, it's a fucking kid.
yeah.
It's a kid. Who cares? Like, kids don't have fucking suits and shit. Like, you didn't just take the baby to Lacoste on a shopping trip for fucking COVID clothes. Like, come on.
Well,
Who cares?
that's the thing.
I think dress codes are going to severely change after COVID. I think, especially me, but I know a lot of other people are getting very comfortable just living in track pants.
Yeah, exactly. I've worn gym shorts to the bars like most nights. I don't even care
Yeah.
anymore. I used to actually like focus on like, okay, do I look semi-presentable? I don't even care anymore.
It used to be just jeans all day, every day.
Yeah, yeah.
No matter what.
Well, the issue that I guess I'm getting at is that if you're going to be a restaurant that's going to enforce a dress code, and like you said, the movie theater had a dress code. Places that I've worked at had dress codes. They had certain standards that they expected you to adhere to if you wanted to patronize that establishment. But then again, but then you also have people like you and me who use our own discretion. And so we're like, it's a fucking kid. Am I really going to make a scene? They're obviously out for a family breakfast. Like, I'm not going to make a deal because a kid's wearing gym shorts, you know? But another guy working on that shift, the fucking do-gooder manager who's like, we do everything, blah, 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 he might enforce that rule. And then all of a sudden,
But obviously he didn't. Like, or maybe he wasn't around when that other kid got let in.
That's what I'm saying.
But like,
yeah.
I don't know.
Because-
it's just like, I think at the end of the day, it's just a fucking bad look.
That's what I'm saying. It's a bad look, but I really don't. But look, if I believed that Atlas was a racist establishment, I wouldn't play there.
And to be clear, like, this is probably, it all comes down on this one dude. I don't think he's upholding any sort of strict guidelines from the restaurant to be like, do not let black children in.
Of course not. Of course not.
I think this dude just had a weird fucking, he just had a bad read
Yeah.
of the situation.
He clearly had a bad read. He had a bad read of the situation. He had a bad read on how to handle the
it's like,
situation.
yeah. But also, like, I don't know. Should that guy be in charge of those calls? I don't know.
Well, he's fired. He's been fired.
Yeah.
And like, you know, he was at first suspended indefinitely, but then he was fired. And I like, look, I feel bad for that guy because I don't think he's a bad dude either. I just think he was doing what he thought was his job, but he did it poorly. He did it poorly. If you're in that situation, like if that was myself personally and I decided I want to enforce a dress code, which I probably wouldn't have in that situation, but let's say I was like a corporate like do-gooder and I decided to enforce a dress code and then they immediately point out there's another family and they're not abiding by the dress code, I'd have been like, oh shit, you're right. You know what? I didn't even see that. I didn't even seat that table. I'm so sorry about that. You know what? We'll make an exception this time. How about you have a seat over here? We got a table for you over here. Something like that to make it feel like, because in the alternative to that was literally him looking over there, seeing that there was a white family in there that wasn't abiding by a dress code, and then maintaining that, but also, and then trying to say like, well, it's the socks, or it's like, dude, you already know that you fucked up, that somebody in that chain of command fucked up and allowed somebody else to slide, and now it looks like something that is not only a terrible look for you, but a terrible look for the corporation, and a good manager should know how to handle that. And that guy did an awful fucking job of handling it. But the thing that we're supposed to extrapolate from that or take from that as a broad narrative is that Atlas Restaurant Groups is actively training people to discriminate against certain races of people. And I really honestly don't believe that. Because like I said, if I believed that, I wouldn't play there. I wouldn't. And that's what kind of frustrated me about a lot of the musicians that drafted that petition was like, dude, if you really believe this is a racist, hateful establishment, why do you continue cashing your checks here? Like, why are you willing to draft up this petition, but you're not willing to take a hit to your own pocket? You'll continue to play there your residency every Wednesday night because it's a good payout, but then you want to go on there and make up some petition and act like you're a do-gooder, even though you're part of the system. I wouldn't participate in that system if that's what I thought they were doing. And that's what kind of annoyed me. And in that petition, they were saying like, we want you to abolish dress codes, which is another thing I don't agree with. I personally, if you're going to have a dress code, the only thing I would say is you need to make sure that you enforce the fuck out of that. So there's no question on if this person might be able to slide with it or that person might be able to slide because, oh yeah, he works next door, we're all cool with him, we all party with him afterward, he can come in this thing, but like nobody else can. If you're going to have a dress code, you need to make that a primary thing in training, that I don't give a fuck if it's your grandmother. If she's not wearing what the fuck you need to wear to get in here, she's not getting in here. Because I think that's an important aspect of maintaining a certain ambiance in a restaurant. You know, when I show up to a restaurant and somebody says, dude, you need to take off that jersey, I don't go, well, this is fucking bullshit. I go, okay, well, yeah, okay, clearly you have rules and I'm trying to eat here. And if I want to eat here, I need to play by your rules. That makes sense to me. And that's a good thing if you're trying to maintain an ambiance. My brother works at Ruth's Chris, and he and about, I think, 4 or 5 other servers all submitted their resignation this week because that restaurant stopped abiding by the dress codes. They stopped enforcing the rules, and it caused this environment where like now people go to certain restaurants expecting a certain type of environment. If I go out to Ruth's Chris Steakhouse and take my 16-year-old daughter out for dinner for graduation, I expect a certain type of environment. I'm paying a bunch of money. I want to see people that I want to feel like I'm in an environment that is worth that money when I'm paying $60 for a steak. I don't want people in there with ripped jeans and hats and shit like that. I get that. And when I was younger, I didn't really quite understand that. It was just, and the other thing that I will say in Atlas's defense, again, this isn't me. Like I said, if I never play there, I've only been playing there the past year. This is just my personal opinion. I think that the thing that frustrates me, as much as can be said about that restaurant group, they are a corporation that is investing in this city. And there's not a lot of corporations that are willing to do that. There's not a lot of big businesses that are coming in and building things up and bringing people in the way they are doing it. And it's kind of frustrating to see that it seems like all they ever get is flack. I get that they do things that are fucked up, that appear fucked up, or they're not consistent with the rules and things like that. But for me to have signed that petition and basically said like, this is a bad organization, we don't agree with its policies, you need to abolish the dress codes, you need to do all this stuff, I was like, dude, I wish that you could have made this petition less about like you and your own personal shit that you want to like voice out because you're trying to fucking make yourself seem like this awesome dude, and instead just draft up a thing that's reasonable. Like, hey dude, we respect your policies, but like you need to get on top of your fucking game if you're going to have them. Because if you're going to have a dress code like that and enforce it, you need to fucking enforce it. I don't know. That's just my opinion.
No, that's real.
I mean, is that what you got? What did you think from that whole situation?
I mean, yeah, I mean, kind of just what I was saying earlier, where it's like, I don't think he maliciously was like, from direct orders from his manager at the restaurant, like, do not, under any circumstances, let little black boys or girls into the restaurant and spend their money on our food. We don't want to make any money off of black children. I think this dude, Goody Two-Shoe manager, maybe he was looking for some extra brownie points and was like, what can I fucking do today? There's a light load. I'm going to be on my P's and Q's, and I'm going to just be strict about every fucking little thing. Maybe some server called in sick or whatever, and he's like, fuck, now we're down someone, and he's pissed off, and he's like, let me get my aggression out by being a fucking power-hungry dude.
Yeah.
I just think, I don't know. I mean, it definitely would have been a different thing if that other kid in there wasn't there. If that other kid leaving the table with the basketball shorts wasn't there, I don't think there would have been an issue. But, like, it's just fucking plain as day.
Yeah, it was the perfect cocktail of everything that could go wrong.
It's like it looked staged. Like, it almost looked staged. Like, how fucking bad it was.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, well, I did have that thought, and then I was like, probably not. That would be too big of a conspiracy. I don't think it was staged, but it was that ridiculous that I was like, holy shit. But yeah, I don't know. That was just a pressing thing that I saw happen this week that I thought was just very unfortunate. Very unfortunate, because I think that, you know, this might be a controversial statement, but I think that they are a net positive for the city. I really do. I really do.
Yeah, I mean, I've had like food at one of their restaurants. It was good.
Yeah.
Like, they're doing good things for the Baltimore food scene. I think, I mean, but they're the big dog right now. and everyone's going to be coming for the big dog,
Yeah.
no matter what. That's just what happens when you're the big dog.
And that's that. I mean, if there's nothing that explains Baltimore better than me. I remember Ace Matthews was on the podcast, one of our first podcasts, episode 22. And she said, this city is like crabs in a bucket. Everyone's fighting to get to the top of the bucket, but we're all getting eaten. And that's what I see going on here. It's frustrating. It's frustrating, dude. So hopefully, they had this and here's the other thing that pissed me off. They pushed it and they were like, okay, we're going to have this like round table and it's going to be Tuesday at 2 p.m. where we're going to invite all the musicians who want to come in and voice their concerns and this, that, the other thing. And, I was actually really heavily considering going and just kind of saying what I said here, even though I felt like anybody who cared enough to go was obviously going to disagree with me, because I feel like most people kind of sit where we're sitting with the whole thing, and they would just looked at that and been, most people that I play with, because that petition, like a lot of the musicians didn't sign it, and I know every musician was asked to sign it. And I looked at all the names. There was probably about 25 names, but they have way more performers there. And a lot of the names that I recognize were not guys that I knew. And so a lot of the guys that I know didn't sign it. And so I was like, okay, I know there's a lot of guys that are kind of sitting here, guys and girls, whoever, that are sitting here thinking kind of the same thing. Like, yeah, this was a really bad look, but I don't think it is what they're saying it is. And so they decided they were gonna have like an in-person meeting, and I was like, fucking go. That'll be cool. And then they like rescheduled it to literally today at noon with 2 hours notice. And they were like, and the musician gets in the group and he's like, I know it's really short notice, but the meeting's in 2 hours. I was like, bro, what the fuck? What are we doing here? How the hell do you schedule an impromptu emergency meeting 2 hours? Like everybody, we play all over, dude. Not everybody lives downtown and shit like that. Like, I gotta fucking have some type of notice or anything like that. Like, what if I had work? Like, that was something I was about to take off of work for, Because I think like Alex Smith was gonna be there and those guys, and like, I just wanted to kind of see what the vibe was. And so I think that meeting happened today. I wonder what came as a result of that. But I just hope they do the right thing. And I hope that, whatever musicians said that, this is a terrible, awful institution and they need to do all these things and here's our list of demands. I hope that they are strong enough in their intestinal fortitude that when they don't meet those demands to stop playing there, because otherwise you're full of shit. And that's all I'll say about that.
Yeah. There you go, dude. I think that's I guess I could talk about one more thing, but we can wrap up soon.
Yeah, for sure.
We we had the all the service and stuff today, which was weird because it was the first time I'd been in a group of people, of like a large group of people that I knew for 4 months. And it was weird to have that under like these bad circumstances, but
yeah.
But it was honestly going to a funeral home right now is so fucking weird, because they really just like kind of turned and burned us, dude. They fucking we just kind of got in there. They had like someone say a couple words, like I think it was one of the ministers or preachers from my grandma's old church. Mm-hmm. And then my uncle said some nice words, my cousin said some nice words, and then one of the directors at the funeral home was like, all right, you guys can go to your cars now, like immediately.
Wow.
They didn't even let us like talk to each other.
Jesus.
And then like we did the procession out to the cemetery, and then we got out there, the same lady said a couple words, and then the same funeral director just popped out just in that new location. It was like, all right, guys, go to your cars.
I'm like, damn, dude.
What? I didn't even get to like hug anyone yet, even though you're not supposed to, but you still do.
Like, yeah.
Luckily, we went to lunch afterwards, which was like...
Where'd you go?
Also weird, because that was my first time eating out.
Hold on, let me guess.
In quarantine.
Did you go to Peppermill?
No, but that is what my grandma would have wanted, dude. All grandmas and grandpas love the Peppermill.
She would have wanted
If you're
Peppermill,
from the greater Baltimore area, you know your fucking elderlies fucking love the Peppermill.
Peppermill, dude.
It's fucking insane.
I've
It's
never
like a
even been there, but I
mousetrap
just
for
know
old
that.
people, dude. It's insane. It's the only. I think it's the only restaurant that has early bird specials. I think that's why old people like
old
it.
people love the early birds. I can't wait to be
Early
older
bird
so I can wake up
specials.
earlier.
Wake up early, eat dinner early, go to bed early.
Just get it over with.
Start
Get
it
the
all
day
over
over
again
with.
the next day.
Exactly. So where'd you go?
We went to Pappas's.
Oh, classic. That's in the greater Baltimore area.
In
Yeah.
Cockeysville, though, the bigger location.
The greater Baltimore area.
Yeah. And we had our own we basically had our own dining room area.
Mm-hmm.
And there was I guess 5 tables in it, and we had 3 of them, and the other 2 were empty per regulation or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But it was nice because then we actually got to sit down and talk to each other and shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was just it was weird to have all of those. I don't know, all of my streaks got broken today. My streak
Yeah.
of not seeing a bunch of people, my streak of eating at a restaurant, my streak of eating a pizza that I didn't make.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I just feel like it's such a bad time for this to have happened, because it's you want to do it justice, but you just can't, and it's
Yeah,
That-
I think I mean, we were talking about this before the podcast too, but I think we're going to have an actual celebration of life type Irish wake.
yes, which I did not know what that
Eventually-
meant until your brother told me.
Yeah, and I forgot what it meant until you reminded me.
It's fucking the concept of it is awesome, dude. You get everybody together, and I think it almost winds up better, like we were saying before, where you allow some time to pass. People have kind of gone through the grieving process more, and in the fall, 3 months down the line, it's much easier for people to get together and have a few drinks and just just literally do that, celebrate the life of that person. That's what I would want. There's 2 things I know, is that I don't want to have an open casket wake. I don't want that. It just seems weird to me.
Mm-hmm.
I always make the joke that they're not going to get my hair right. I know that, but also it's just a bunch of shit. I just don't want that to be people's last memory of me. It's dude, this isn't me. This fucking embalmed, withered version of me in this casket in this suit that's not even mine is not me.
Yeah.
I would never have worn this.
Well,
this.
she wanted to be cremated, so she was cremated.
Yeah.
But it was nice because my brother scanned in a bunch of our old photo album pictures. We had a slideshow and shit, and I saw a ton of pictures that I had never seen of my grandma very young.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, it's crazy.
Yeah.
She just had her own whole fucking life that I knew some of the bits of it that she would tell me in stories, but I was talking to my brother, and he was like, yeah, she would just apparently, I saw a sign in the background of one of the pictures, but apparently her and our grandfather would just go to Florida a bunch, and they just had a whole group of friends that would always be in those pictures and nowhere else, and
Oh, that's awesome.
they'd just be chilling, fucking,
Yeah.
It was wild.
I
And
guess
just to
that's-
see all the different bathing suits and shit, and all the different style of the time, and it was funny.
Yeah, I guess that's kind of the point of it, It's you don't really I remember I went to my Uncle Tony's wake, and he was cremated as well. My dad's side of the family usually gets cremated. My mom's side is Greek Orthodox, and they don't believe in that. And I still don't know if I'm going to get buried because that's what my mother and grandmother would have wanted, or if I'm just going to get cremated because that's what I would want. But it's still on the fence about that. Hopefully I have a long time to think about that.
Yeah,
When I went to my Uncle Tony's thing, I saw pictures of him as a boxer. I didn't know he was a fucking actual boxer. And there was what I thought was really cool is he used to have this little interview show that he would do back in the 60s and 70s. And there was a picture of him interviewing Rocky Marciano and
Damn.
posing with him. And I was I didn't know he did all this shit. And he would rent out big ass halls and do his own talent shows and have people he was kind of a schemer a little bit, but he was also super he just did shit like that. He would just rent out a hall and put on big shows and stuff. I didn't even fucking know that about Uncle Tony. You know, like all I knew was that he was the one who gave me my first guitar and taught me how to play Malagueña, this Spanish song. And it was like 2 chords. And I would sit there at like 8 years old and just try to learn it. And that was like, you know, and he bought me that guitar that's sitting, not the good guitar, but like the little 7-year-old guitar that always sits against the little air conditioner over there.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's just like you go to those things and you learn so much and you see all the people. And that's like the importance of it, you know? So, but yeah, I think that it's definitely probably for the best that now you guys have an opportunity to have some time to sit on it and then do something later down the line, and it'll be that much better.
Yeah.
So that's cool. But anyway,
Yeah,
rest in peace, though,
yeah.
for real.
R.I.P. Cookie Grandma, I love you. You know, I'll always have your paintings hung up
Yep.
all around my apartment.
Hell yeah, dude.
Nice
That's
little
beautiful
beach,
too.
beach stuff, some other...
She painted you guys when you were a little
tugboats.
kid, right? It's at your parents' house?
No, that's
Something like that.
actually it's actually a painting of my dad and his brother as kids.
Oh shit! I always thought that was
it's
you
like
and Alex.
Yeah, no, it's for the listeners, it's a picture of, it's like a very big painting, oil painting of like 2 boys running down like a beach, and it was my dad and his brother.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Damn,
yeah,
dude.
but that's this week, folks. At LFTS Podcast across everything, at Eric Glazer, at Jimmy Selesky. Check out the new Sophomores tune on Spotify.
Yep. It's on
Add
Instagram.
Add it to your local playlist.
Yeah, follow us, dude. Follow us. We could use some more followers on Spotify. That way, we're coming out with more stuff in the coming months, so you'll be the first to know about it. That'd be cool. I'm looking forward to that.
And episode 200
Coming
next
up
week.
Hopefully, we can make it a little special for you guys. We'll see what happens with that.
We'll see.
We'll
yeah.
see.
We'll see. What are you doing this week? Maybe we'll meet up at the
We'll meet
studio.
up. Yeah. We could do. We'll talk about it after the cast, but
Okay.
yeah, I'm
Yeah,
free. I'm free this week. We can make it happen for
Yeah.
sure. For sure. Every Tuesday night, guys, the live stream on Facebook at 8 p.m. Definitely tune into that. And of course, we drop the episode every Wednesday morning. It's on YouTube, Spotify, all your streaming platforms. So just find us, LFTS Podcast, on everything. And until next week.
Peace.